Today, Gaming America is speaking with Marina Bogard, the Managing Director of Betsson's North America operation. They recently launched in Colorado, and we're here to talk about Betsson's ambitions for the North American market. Thank you for speaking with us today, Marina.
Thank you, Cameron. Appreciate the opportunity.
So my first question is about the product you recently launched in the US. Could you just tell us what it is?
Absolutely. So we indicated to our investors and shareholders that we would be launching a BetSafe branded sportsbook in the US in the first quarter, which we did at the end of March. A fully functioning sports mobile app specific to the Colorado market only. And we're really focused on the whole player journey experience with a full array of sports that are available to bet on, as well as feature functionality that's specific to this market. And we'll continue to innovate and create new features and functionality as we receive feedback from our players to ensure a best-in-class experience in the BetSafe brand.
Mm-hmm. And just to be clear, is this a B2C or a B2B offering that you have in the US?
It is a B2C offering in Colorado to start. Yeah. But we will be also expanding our B2B presence here. Yeah.
So in looking forward, which do you see as more important in the North American market?
Well, our objective is really to move into more broadly into the B2B space, but utilizing our B2C approach here in Colorado as well as Canada as a showcase to really be able to show our B2B potential partners what the experience would look like, as well as what all the various support resources that we have to offer from a managed services solution to get them ready to onboard as a turnkey or whatever flavor they want and what they can manage on their own.
Sure. I wanted to ask a bit about the sort of licensing process. We've heard other people, especially I know you're American, but your company is European, and we've heard that European companies coming into the US, they find it a little disorienting how many how every different market, every different state has a different set of protocols and rules you need to follow to go live. I was wondering if that has been your experience at Betsson.
Actually, licensing in the Colorado market has gone very, very smoothly. It was definitely, before my time when I joined Betsson, but we had external resources of counsel to ensure that we are, properly filling out the paperwork. But Colorado is such a positive gaming state, and their process went very smoothly. And Betsson's been in the business since the 60s. So, in terms of longevity and the kind of reputation Betsson has really definitely helped in getting that process to go through smoothly as it did.
Sure. So did you choose Colorado specifically because it's known as a smooth state to open in, or was there another reason behind that?
Well, it was one of the early states, as you probably know, in terms of getting sportsbook live. It has a very advantageous tax bracket, but it also has a sweet spot of demographics in terms of 50-50 gender spread. It's a diverse community, high net worth, high education, high income levels. So it really kind of encapsulates a lot of what the sports betting demographic would look like, which is why 20 plus other type of companies are here doing the same.
Sure. And as far as other markets, are you currently sort of going through that licensing application process?
We're done. In Colorado, we are opening up with the regulated market in Ontario. So we're going through that process where the BetSafe brand is there today. But as you know, Ontario is moving from an unregulated to a regulated market. So we're going through that licensing process and expect to be live in that market sometime in the late third quarter.
Sure. Just wondering, and this could be a superficial answer from your end, but is there a market difference between getting a license in the United States versus Canada, in your opinion?
Every country's different and every state is different as well. But, in terms of the process, it's fairly similar, different regulations and requirements. And in fact, I think in some respect, Canada is a little bit easier as, several individuals would not have to get licenses, usually the corporation. And Colorado, on top of the corporation, it's also individuals that have to go through that process. So, it just depends. But so far, it's been relatively smooth for us.
Okay. I wanted to ask too about iGaming or digital casino. You hear in the US today, it's all sports betting, but that iGaming is going to be really big in the next 5 years. Is this Betsson's view? And do you have sort of big ambitions for your iGaming arm as you move forward into the US and Canada?
Yeah, well, I do think iGaming in general, and sports betting, mobile sports betting in general will continue to increase. The American Gaming Association just recently came out with some statistics on iGaming and sports betting, and for the first quarter, and it's about $2.8 billion. And that's split about 50-50, and it will continue to grow. So I think there's tremendous opportunity. It's still in really early stages for the US market. And I do think, the whole unfortunately, COVID experience has opened up opportunity for states to look at more of a mobile digital solution for ability to increase revenue for their state that wasn't available before. So I think it's just opened up more of an opportunity to take a look at digital solutions for gaming.
Right. But would you say it's still too early? Let's say in 5 years, do you think iGaming will be a much bigger part of Betsson, or do you think it'll be pretty evenly split between mobile sports betting and iGaming in terms of the services you provide?
At this point, just kind of looking into the crystal ball, I'd say it'd probably be evenly split. I think it'll be really interesting to see, as what at least the numbers I'm seeing across the board from other operators, it seems to be about evenly split. So I think it just still is going to be determined as the time goes on and as more states open up as well.
Sure. Okay. And I was wondering, you have your products that that are available in Europe. Do you adapt those significantly for the American market, or is it a pretty smooth transition?
We've adapted, certainly, in terms of terminology, in terms of, how odds are displayed. So we are Americanizing it, or North Americanizing the experience to ensure that it is more conducive to the culture here. But overall, in terms of the sports, we're going to be providing all the sports, plethora of sports across the globe and the ability to bet on. But in terms of communication and style and how it's presented, it'll certainly be more Americanized.
Yeah. Would you say in general, you can characterize this whole, since PASPA in 2018, this whole rise of digital gambling as European technology coming into the US and Canada? Is that a fair characterization?
I don't know so much of the technology, but certainly the opportunities. Europe has been doing mobile gaming for decades without, significant, issues. So I think it is, just the opportunity to have digital gaming for real money is the ability for the US to expand and really take the learnings of what's happened in other areas geographically and take those learnings into the US markets.
Sure. Now, I wanted to ask, and I don't know how much you can say, but after Ontario, what are Betsson's sort of strategic plans for opening in new markets?
Sure. Well, I can't speak to the whole geographical expansion, which is something Betsson has been doing for decades is to diversify geographically. But from a North America perspective on the BetSafe brand, as I mentioned, we will be looking to really expand our B2B presence and grow through our B2B platform. And then we'll determine whether or not we go B2C anywhere else where it makes sense, but really focus our objectives on growing the B2B business unit.
So my last question sort of grows out of the one before. I wanted to ask, in 18 to 24 months from now, where would you like to see Betsson in North America?
Oh, well, certainly I'd like to see our expansion of B2B with the current partnerships that we're in discussion with, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more to come. So having a stakehold into the US market, specifically with B2B partners that are dispersed across the states, and more states will be opening up as well. So we could look to grow with the expansion of those states. So, I am very confident that we'll have ability to announce some of those partnerships in the near future.
Super. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
This has been Marina Bogard of Betsson USA. Thank you for speaking with Gaming America today.
Thank you, Cameron. Appreciate it.